can license the IP through a provider of the platform, and you're done.
No,
It's not
the
hard to do.
universities in our case completely and totally own the IP, and what we have is a permission to host it.
I see.
Mark Vargas and then Senator Emerson.
Thank you. I want to kind of understand how the system works a little bit, so I want to maybe use a hypothetical. Let's say there's Professor Flores who teaches math at Fresno State, and he creates a online course for Algebra 1, and it goes on one of your platforms. Is there a royalty system for how many people sign on for Professor Flores' class? And can you explain how that works? How does Professor Flores benefit from participating in this?
So I think this may be a place where there's some slight differences. I'll speak to our model and Sebastian can speak to his. In our case, we very much have the content being openly accessible and free, so students don't pay for access to content. There is a totally optional mechanism by which they choose to pay for the identity verified certification, the proctored final exam, and so on. This costs a modest amount. For us, the identity verification is something like $30 to $40 for the entire course. With the proctored final exam, it goes up to $130 to $150, putting it in a very similar place to what Sebastian's doing. And to the extent that revenue is produced, that revenue is shared back with the institution from where the content came back. So it's a revenue share model. And that institution then has the option of sharing back with the faculty member who created the content. The extent and way in which that's done is an internal governance decision of the institution, and we do not tell them how it's done. And I can tell you among our partner universities, there's a spectrum. There's some institutions that say this is like a textbook, and after costs of production have been deducted, the faculty member gets everything. And then there's institutions that say this is like patent royalties, and it gets divided a third, and a third in the way that many institutions do for patents. So, but we don't mess with that decision because it's internal governance.
And how is your model different, Mr. Thurman?
It's about the same. We actually give the majority of profits back to San Jose State.
Got it. So following this kind of hypothetical a little bit, let's say Professor Shapiro at USC comes up with a course for the same Algebra 1 and uploads it as well. All things being equal, is there some type of internal kind of competitive incentive for competition so that if students think that Professor Shapiro's Algebra 1 class is way, way better, all of a sudden his reviews go up and it becomes a more desirous course? And how does that work?
Not at present, but it'd be great to have. One of the things that happens when you go online is that it's much more transparent, and if you, the Commission, and our legislator is able to open up the credit system to make it possible that students can take the course from different instructor, what you would effectively create is a marketplace for being the best instructor. Wouldn't it be great if instructors had a motivation to be a great instructor?
If they got paid for it, yes. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great? I can give you endless stories of why we as faculty are demotivated to be good instructors, such as promotion decisions based on scientific expertise and not based on teaching records. Wouldn't it be great if a superstar instructor could be recognized as such and then reach many more students? When I offered our very first Stanford MOOC on artificial intelligence, I taught 160,000 students and I had 23,000 graduate, which means I graduated more students than all professors in the world combined from this class. I couldn't go to random places in the world, people would recognize me.